Good morning, this is Gene Thorpe, Little Red Rooster TV, and we're here this morning with a Telecaster. Wow, we do a good number of Telecasters, but this Telecaster is different, and I want to talk about the affordable guitars that are out there. There are some really good affordable guitars. This is a Fender Squier Telecaster. And what's interesting is back in the day, in the 60s and late 50s, 60s, 70s, and up into the 80s, the main guitar brands, for whatever reason, lost their mojo from the 50s. So like when Fender made guitars in the 50s and even in the 60s, they did a real good job of making them. And same thing with Gibson. When they made guitars in the 50s, some of the iconic guitars were made in like 58, 59, and 1960. Earlier guitars, Fender guitars, like the Telecaster started making in 1950, and when you get into the later 60s and the early 70s, many brands were coming along, Japanese brands and other brands, and copying the Fender and Gibson guitars. So later, and Fender and Gibson actually had to sue different amplifier companies for making their guitars. And then they got the bright idea of copying their own guitars with their own Japanese and Chinese brands. And this particular, the Squier models, are copies. Most of them are made in China. But the thing about a Fender Telecaster guitar is that it's a pretty easy thing to build. It's a very simple body, very simple electronics, two simple pickups, and the necks are made out of maple. And so for the most part, these are dimensionally about the same thing as a real Fender Telecaster. There are minor differences, such as the way the necks are adjusted and that type of thing. But for the most part, they sound good, they play good, they're just really neat, they tune out perfectly. And so this guitar is going to be for sale on the Voxroom site. We're going to put it up there for $199, $30 for shipping, and it is in very nice shape. It's got one little ding right here, a couple little minor dings in it, but you know, in the Fender line, they ding them up artificially and call it the roadworthy series. So this is definitely a played guitar, belonged to a very good friend of mine, and he ultimately bought a real Fender. But what he found out, and what I find when I play these, is that there's a very minor difference between these and the real deal. So for a good guitar, here's a Fender Squier, $199, $30 for shipping. Gene Thorpe, Little Red Rooster TV, the Voxroom Guitar Center, signing out for today. Thank you.